It's time to talk about regen cycles, the way the DPF cleans itself, and how you can help maximize your truck's potential. Clean diesel engines work best when they run at hot temperatures for long periods of time. Hot exhaust conditions help prevent the buildup of soot and keeps the DPF from clogging. Basically, hot, hard-working engines allow the DPF to clean itself. The self-cleaning is referred to as regeneration or a regen. There are several ways to keep your engine exhaust hot so that your engine can run better. Avoid idling whenever possible. Idling's exhaust temperatures are too low for clean diesel engines to work properly. Work your engine by driving heavy loads on the highway. Try to get at least 20 continuous minutes of highway driving at speeds above 50 miles per hour once or twice a week. Optimize your revolutions per minute or RPMs. Operating at too low of an RPM is called lugging, which doesn't produce enough heat for clean diesel engines. Operating at too high of an RPM is called overfueling and wastes fuel. Each truck has an ideal RPM range, so check with your engine manufacturer to find out what RPM range is best for your engine. There are 3 ways the engine can clean the DPF. The first is a driving passive regen. This occurs automatically when the engine runs hot for long periods. The second type of cleaning is a driving active regen. This also occurs automatically. With a driving active regen, the engine exhaust is not quite hot enough to clean the DPF, so the engine adds extra fuel to the exhaust. The extra fuel increases the exhaust temperature so the DPF can clean itself. The third type of cleaning is a parked regen. Parked regens require the driver to park and manually start the regen process. This process runs the engine very hot so that the DPF can break down soot and clean itself. Here's a deeper look at each type of regen. Driving passive regens occur automatically when your engine is operating at ideal driving conditions. This usually happens when your truck hauls heavy loads, travels up hills or on highways, and idles very little or not at all. Heavy loads and higher engine speeds keep the engine exhaust hot, and hot exhaust helps the DPF to clean itself. No dashboard warning lights will turn on during a driving passive regen. The driver won't even notice when it occurs. Driving active regens also occur automatically when your truck is moving but the engine is not quite operating at ideal conditions. You may have lighter loads, less highway driving, more stops and starts, and moderate idling. During these conditions, the engine exhaust isn't quite hot enough for the DPF to self-clean. The engine sends fuel to the DOC to increase the temperature so the DPF can clean itself. During a driving active regen, the high exhaust system temperature or HEST light may come on. This light tells you that the engine's exhaust is very hot. If the HEST light comes on, continue your normal operation. You do not need to stop. It is good to keep driving so the regen can complete itself. If you do need to stop, be aware that your exhaust will be very hot. Parked regens are necessary when your engine exhaust isn't hot enough to self-clean or something keeps the engine from running a driving active regen. Let's talk about parked regens. Parked regens are needed more often when you have light loads, frequent stops, excessive idling, or are driving with unaddressed engine problems. As the name suggests, a driver must park to perform a parked regen. Here's how to do a parked regen. First, be sure you're parked in a safe location. Watch where your exhaust is going. Check that your truck's hot exhaust isn't near anything that can melt, burn, or explode. Once you are parked in a safe area, turn on your engine. Apply the emergency brake and flip the Regen switch.
And there you go.
Sometimes the DPF light goes off when you turn off the engine, so you might need to run the engine a while to get the light to turn back on. You cannot start a parked regen if the light is not on. Once the regen has started, do not adjust the throttle. Most clean diesel trucks usually have one regen switch that has 3 positions: up, middle, and down. Some trucks might have 2 separate switches. The up position manually starts a parked regen. The middle position allows the engine to do all of its automatic driving active regen as designed. The down position prevents the truck from doing automatic driving regens. You should only put the switch in the down position if there is a safety concern with a regen. You should not keep the switch in the down position. If your truck cannot do driving active regens, your DPF will clog and cause problems for the engine. A series of dashboard lights will warn you when a regen is required. The first warning is when your dashboard's DPF light is on. This will happen when the DPF is more than halfway full. The light is telling you that the system needs your help within 2 to 4 hours. If your dashboard's DPF light comes on, you can try to start a driving active regen by turning on accessories and driving on the highway at speeds above 50 miles per hour for at least 20 minutes. If you are not planning on highway driving, or if the light did not turn off after increasing the load for 20 minutes, you will need to do a parked regen within 2 to 4 hours of the DPF light turning on. If you ignore your dashboard's DPF light and your truck is unable to perform an active regen, your dashboard's DPF light will begin flashing. This tells you the DPF is almost full. You will notice a severe loss of power and may not be able to move your truck. At this point, you only have 1 to 2 hours to start a regen. You must either increase the load of the engine long enough for a driving active regen to occur or start a parked regen. If you can't start a regen or your dashboard's DPF light does not turn off, take your vehicle to a service location within the next 2 hours. Do not ignore the flashing DPF light because it means your truck is in trouble. If you continue to ignore your dashboard's DPF light or a driving active regen still hasn't occurred, your DPF is almost full. At this point, the yellow check engine light should turn on, along with the DPF flashing light. If that happens, the driving active regen has been disabled, so increasing the load on the engine is no longer an option. You need to pull over in a safe area and perform a parked regen immediately. If you can't do a parked regen, take your truck directly to a service location. If you continue to drive without a regen, after the DPF light is flashing and the yellow check engine light turns on, the red stop engine light will come on. This means your DPF is now full and you will feel your truck lose significant power. Once the red stop engine light is on, driving and parked regens are no longer an option. You must take your truck to an authorized repair location where a qualified service technician will need to clean or replace the DPF. Your clean diesel engine is designed to clean its own DPF or let you know when it needs your help. Paying attention to your truck and taking action when needed will keep it running well and avoid expensive repairs. The next video shows more ways you can keep your truck healthy and on the road.